This is my garage door opener that I used on my roll-up door. It's a Chamberlain smart garage door opener with the MyQ. So basically I can use my cell phone or remotes or any other stuff to open up my door, my garage door. This is what I essentially wanted because like I said, sometimes I'm in the garage or I'm coming out and I don't have my remote with me. Pull my phone out, I can open up the door from there. You can use a $99 garage door opener, will work just fine. You gotta forget my garage, it's kind of messy right now. Like I said, we just moved in, so I just barely did this install. I was gonna use the roll-up door remote door opener, but they were like expensive, and they essentially just basically bolt onto right there on that side and roll the door up and down. Again, I put my garage door opener vertically. You can see it on the right-hand side. Like again, you can use $99 one, $150 one, $300 one, whichever one you want. But this is a possible install. So I just had it bolted all the way to the top up there. I basically have it bolted to the frame down at the bottom over here. The problem I was having when I had this install first hooked up was it was busting on that side right there, because what it was doing is pushing on this side over here. And basically what it was doing was making my garage tilt this way. This side was going down while this side right here was not moving, and it was tilting, and it was going like this. And when I first did it, it popped the bolt. I had a U-bolt on there that was going basically sideways into right there, and that's the first one that busted. So I had the steel bar going across, and the steel bar was only going about maybe 2/3 of the way. Not even 2/3. It was probably a 1/4 of the way across the garage door opener. So essentially, it was just only pulling on this side of the door, or pushing down the side of the door. So when I was letting it go down, it would go down this way. That side would get stuck, and it would just pop it. So I had to come up with an idea to try and get this to work correctly. So I ended up going to Home Depot, got me a 6-inch bar, essentially, and I installed it right there. That's the little bar going across. And what I wanted to make sure it did is I wanted the bar to go more than halfway across the door. Because the problem, what you want on these doors right here, you want to use the middle of the door to be pushed down and not on the ends. Because if you push the ends, you run the risk of it tilting on these style of garage doors, of course. What I did was I went up using 2 bushings right there, put them upside down and put 2 bushings on this side over here. And they actually, basically, that's the middle of the door right there, there's 2 bolts. So I put them evenly between outside those doors, or outside the middle part, right there and right there. So essentially what this is doing is when it goes down now, it's actually pushing in the middle of the garage door and nothing on the end over here. So that's what's pushing this thing down. So it goes down nice and even instead of tilting, which is what I want, because of course you don't want your door busting. If I'm using my remote, I'm not here and I tilt it and it busts, I'm not have no way of fixing it because I'm not here. I know I work pretty far away from here, so unless my family member's here, we're gonna have issues. But basically what I did was, I'm gonna go ahead and roll this thing down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so again, your weight is being pushed from the middle right there. And what I did also on this end was put another bolt right there. And the reason why I put this bolt over here, this is a free bolt. This bolt it's not connected to anything. It's got a hole on the top right there. So this thing basically just allows it to flex, because this bar is going to flex because, of course, your bar is going so far across. It's a steel bar, so I'm not worried about it busting. What happens is when this thing goes down, this thing, of course, like I said, push down the middle, this allows this thing to flex a little bit when it goes down, because it kind of bounces sometimes when it goes on. And it goes all the way down to the bottom like it's supposed to. And ultimately, like I said, it's pushing from just the middle only. When it goes up, it's actually pulling up from those 2 plus this side, because when it goes up and hits this right there, and that's essentially the 3rd link helping this thing push up. So it's 3 links, basically 3 connections going up when it goes up. When it's going down, it's only pushing against those 2 right there, because it flexes down this side here, so there's nothing being pushed on this side. So again, like I said, this thing ends up pushing down from the center, which is what you want to do. But ultimately, like I said, if you're having troubles with your door flexing, this is what you want to do. You want to have it set up like this to allow that to happen, because if you push it on one end over here, if I were to put that bolt right there with a bushing on this side over here, it would have tilted. So that's why the reason why I put that on there, so it doesn't have nothing to push against going down. When it does go down, it does flex. And that's what I wanted to do. So you're kind of looking at it right there. You're gonna see it. So that allows it to flex down. And when it goes up, it's gonna grab from those two right there and this one right here, which is what you want, because it helps it go up when you do that. So my garage door opener works perfectly. If you have any questions about how to set this up, actually, let me let you know. I used 3.5-inch bolts when I did those three. All three of them are 3.5-inch bolts. Those two were tightened down all the way, so it collapsed on the washers. This right here, I have it barely in, and I have a washer up under the bottom, so it's holding at the bottom. And I put a washer on the top to tighten it, so it's like a lock bolt. So that way that bolt doesn't come loose, the one on the right. But again, it's those all three are in there solid. The bar was a steel bar I got from Home Depot. It's like one of the square ones, 1 inch by 1 inch by 6 feet. So that's basically essentially the extra tools I had to use to get this thing working. So like I said, if you have any questions, shoot me a message and I'll try and answer as soon as I can. Thank you.